Chief Minister of Telangana, my esteemed colleagues from the Supreme Court, Justice P.S. Narasimha, Justice Ujjwal Bhuyan, Justice S.V.N. Bhatti, and Justice Alok Aradhe. Three of them have the distinction of being the former Chief Justices of Telangana High Court, whereas my brother Justice Narasimha indeed belongs to the original state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We also among us have Justice N.V. Ramana, Honorable former Chief Justice of India, my senior colleague, my brother Justice Subhash Reddy, former Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Justice Apresh Kumar Singh, Honorable Chief Justice of Telangana High Court, distinguished judges of the Telangana High Court, Shri A. Sudarshan Reddy, Learned Advocate General, Telangana, Young and Dynamic Additional Advocate General Mr. Imran Khan, Shri Narasimha Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, Shri K. Ramakrishnan Rao, Chief Secretary State of Telangana, Shri B. Shivdhar Reddy, Director General of Police, senior officers of the Civil and Police Administration, Shri Surendra Reddy, President of the Telangana High Court Bar Association, other office bearers, members of the Executive Committee, senior advocates, members of the Telangana High Court Bar Association, learned Registrar General and other officers of the High Court establishment, distinguished judicial officers, members of the legal fraternity. I am not sure whether Mr. Narasimha Reddy, Chairman of the Bar Council, is present or not. Very distinguished spouses of some of us from the High Court, from the Supreme Court, architect, engineers, contractor, who are all associated with the construction project of the new High Court building of the Telangana High Court. Friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, I have come to believe over a long career in judiciary that now I have spent almost 23 years, that every undertaking reveals itself in three stages. Its beginning reveals the intent, its middle demonstrates perseverance, and its conclusion shows whether the promise was fulfilled. Today, we are in the midst of a significant undertaking. Zone 1 of the High Court of Telangana complex is already under construction, and we have gathered here to commence Zone 2. It is a matter of fact that when the public sees of a court is the bench, the emblem, and the proceedings. That is the visible judiciary. But behind every courtroom, there is a world that keeps it running, where judges live, where they train, where precedent is preserved. Today, as we lay the foundation for that world, I congratulate all those whose efforts have brought us here, especially the state government of Telangana, led by a dynamic Chief Minister, who has been very, very positive and progressive approach in showing in the construction and development of the judicial infrastructure in the state of Telangana. What brings us here is not merely a ceremony. It is a constitutional duty. Our constitution makers firmly believed in the principle of access to justice, and therefore they made it a constitutional obligation to establish a high court for every state. I have always viewed that this not just as legal requirement, but as a solemn commitment by the Republic. And such a commitment is only as meaningful as the physical infrastructure that underpins it. Without that, the command remains mere words on paper. Here in Telangana state, that command is steadily taking concrete form. I am told, and I have seen while coming here, that Zone 1 construction is progressing well. Excavation is complete on most blocks. Superstructure work is underway. Even as those buildings rise, we today are commencing Zone 2. The judiciary and the state government have chosen to proceed in parallel, and rightly so. The existing High Court building, though historic, and I have an opportunity to see that, very historical, very monumental building, no doubt, has fallen short of what this institution needs today. Therefore, creating infrastructure that caters to our requirements for the next, as rightly pointed out by Honorable Chief Minister, for next 100 years is not just a goal, it is a mandate. That is exactly what and why Zone 2 is an important as the courtroom themselves. What we see of a great tree is its canopy, its spread and its height. But what keeps the tree standing through even storm is the root system no one sees. Zone 2, to my mind, is the root system of this campus. 57 structures across 60 acres designed to sustain this institution long after the courtroom opens their door. Once these roots are in place, something fundamental shifts. We often speak of judicial independence, whether in judgments, conferences, or our constitutional debates. My brother Ujjal also briefly pointed out this aspect. However, in my experience, independence also has a very practical aspect that we sometimes overlook. A high court that operates from scattered premises and congested buildings is a court where daily function depends on arrangements it does not control. This 100-acre campus in Hyderabad will, on the other hand, transform that perception, and being the desired, it will definitely bring the element of independence in day-to-day functioning of the judiciary when you have a complete state-of-the-art building. And I don't mind, after seeing the conceptual drawings and the model which was displayed here, that this High Court will be the best High Court throughout the country. So I believe that courtrooms, administrative offices, archives, residential infrastructure and training facilities will be grouped together on a single self-contained site. The lawyers have to have their multi-storied parking, their chambers, their offices, the bar room. Learned Advocate General have its own separate independent office, and so will be the administrative building beside the courtrooms I am referring to. The best part is the residential part sector of where the houses of the judges and Honorable Chief Justice Bungalow is now proposed to be constructed. The judiciary here, therefore, will operate on its own terms and on its own turf. That is what institutional self-sufficiency looks like when you move it from theory into brick and mortar. Let me speak briefly about two structures in Zone 2 that are close to my heart. The auditorium will host judicial conferences, training programs for the district judiciary, and legal awareness camps for the citizens. A judiciary that ceases to learn will stop evolving. I have seen this across the country, and I hold this conviction strongly and very firmly. Equally important is the central record room designed across 3 levels. Institutional memory is not a luxury, my dear friends. It is the foundation of consistency in judicial reasoning. Well preserved and accessible precedent strengthens every judgment that follows. I am pleased to see that this has been given the space and seriousness it warrants. That earnestness and solemnity is visible in another aspect of the planning. The sustainable infrastructure has been woven into the design from the outset. A campus that will serve generations of judges and litigants must respect the land on which it stands. There are not glamorous details, but they tell you something important about the character of the institution we are building. This complex has a long history. My brother Alok Arade very rightly pointed out that when he was Chief Justice, how the initiative he took, he met the Honorable Chief Minister, persuaded the state government, and some very positive and concrete steps were taken at that time. But before coming here, I thought I must go into the history, the process, the time taken in conceptualizing and in formalizing this new building court complex. I believe it was in 2009 a devastating fire struck the main building of the High Court. That same year, the full court resolved to secure 100 acres for a new campus. The judiciary was expanding from 24 to 42 judges, and the old premises simply could not keep up. What followed was over a decade of sustained efforts, and I congratulate my three brothers here who have been the Chief Justice beside the present Chief Justice, that how tirelessly they have been taking those initiatives. All successive Chief Justices raised this demand with one government after another. The Bar Association, the Bar Council lent their voice at every stage. Across changes in political dispensation, the resolve held firm. Finally, land was allotted, plans were finalized by the full court, global tenders were conducted, and construction commenced. This is an institutional achievement, and it belongs to everyone, including the members of the bar, the citizens, the consumer of justice, and of course, the lot of credit goes to the present state government who has wholeheartedly sanctioned and allocated the sufficient funds. And Telangana is not alone in this journey, I must share with you. The momentum we see across the country gives me great confidence. In the past few months alone, I have had the privilege of laying foundation stones for judicial court complexes in Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, and now today I am here. State governments across the political spectrum recognize that strengthening judicial infrastructure is not an optional but extremely essential. The administrative sanction of over 205,000 crores of rupees by the present state government of Telangana for this project reflects that seriousness and thoughtfulness. I acknowledge the contribution of the state government of Telangana and every institution that has helped us reach this point. Ladies and gentlemen, when the judiciary and the executive align in purpose, the constitution truly comes alive. That is what we are witnessing today here. Here is a thought I want to leave with everyone working on this project. The actual foundation of this complex, as I said earlier, was commenced in 2009 when the full court passed its resolution. Decades from now, when this campus has aged into the life of a city, its significance will extend far beyond we stand in today. That is a promise this foundation stone makes. The judges who walk these corridors a century from now have not yet been born. The cases they will decide have yet not arisen, but the institution we are building today must be prepared for all of it. I want every person involved in this project to feel that sense of responsibility. So let that thought govern every decision from here forward. Every material chosen, every beam laid, every deadline honored. I urge every stakeholder to treat timelines as commitments and not as aspirations. I can announce it very happily that while sitting on the dais, I discussed with the Honorable Chief Minister, and he promised me that the complete High Court complex along with residential and other infrastructure will be completed in 2 years. I congratulate for this kind of commitment made by the state government. The citizens and the lawyers of Telangana, to my mind, have earned this right and the expected results. Ladies and gentlemen, results are what will carry this undertaking to its fulfillment. I said at the outset that every undertaking has 3 stages. So, reminding those 3 stages, I would repeat, the intent was declared in 2009 when the High Court resolved to rebuild anew. Perseverance has been shown by all those who kept this dream alive and nurtured it jealously over the past 17 years. Fulfillment lies ahead and it rests in very capable hands. And when this fulfillment arrives, it will be most deeply felt by those who inherit this place. One day, the bubbly young lawyers will enter this campus on the very first morning of their career. They may not know the names of the people who sat here today, but they will recognize from the quality of their surroundings that those who built it cared about the future. That is the legacy worth building. Let us build it very well. Thank you very much for inviting me, giving this opportunity to share my views and to be a part of this historical event. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, my lord, for the inspirational address. Now it's time to express our gratitude to the dignitaries on the dais with a small gesture of felicitation. I request Honorable